Pop, bringing you the West Coast POPCast with the former Infinity Champion, Eric, and your boy, the real final boss, your boy, the best to do it in the business, your boy, the new champion who finished his story just like Cody at WrestleMania as I swept the storyboard, swept all the matches and predictions. I was in the writing room with Triple H. I'm here to break it to you. That's how I was predicting him. You know that I was right there with Triple H. Now, we have a great show for you guys, and I know you guys just saw what had happened on Dynamite. A lot of shots being thrown. Big show for you guys. Eric is here. The final boss is here. Let's kick it off with the intro. And we are back. Eric, how you doing?
That was my least favorite intro of all time. And it sucks because you lumped Cody Rhodes into it.
I had
but I just want to make it clear. You know what? I get it now. Roman and I, y'all are grateful. Roman and I have been holding up our titles for years and years. And that's you are a crab, Knock. You see me trying to escape my bucket and you pull me back in.
This man just called me a crab. 1,000 miles away, and I felt that one in the heart.
But you know what? That's fine, though, because at WrestleMania, we had a black man win the WWE Undisputed Universal, whatever it's called, championship. Cody making it happen.
Yeah, I'm so glad he won it, man. Finished his story in major fashion. We and the guys been talking about it, these past few weeks. We were at Mania last year, and we got robbed, man. We did. This was the Mania to go to.
Yeah, this was it. God, this was it. And everything else wasn't bad either. Maybe like one or two matches that didn't live up to the hype. I'm thinking of one in particular, but everything else was good.
Yeah. I don't want to bash on it anymore, but the Jay and Jimmy match kind of didn't feel like a Mania match. I was telling Zach, I think it would have did them justice if they had a match earlier at Survivor Series or something before they got to this Mania match. Because it was like Jimmy costed Jay last year at SummerSlam, and it was like nothing for months, I felt like, of significance. So it just felt like the match was flat. Besides that, they didn't miss. The big three were amazing. Obviously, Bayley did her thing and Cody in the main event.
I think the Jay and Jimmy match is fine at Mania. I went into it wary because I love the Usos as a tag team. They can wrestle one-on-one. I don't love their matches. Not whenever they wrestle one-on-one, period. It's not like I'm never like, oh, this is a great match. I think it should have been a street fight or something.
That needed a stipulation. Match. That's a great point. But as you guys might have just saw, I might be jumping in. Let's get straight to it. Eric, Draymond Punk was out here. Now, listen, from the angle we saw, it looked like some TMZ footage. It was a CCTV from All In last year in England. I was immediately reminded of the Draymond Green punch to Jordan Poole at practice that leaked from TMZ. I don't know if you've seen that clip.
No, I never saw it.
But pretty much, it's a little grainy. You see a whole bunch of people, just in their own zone. CM Punk approaches Jack Perry as he comes back from the curtain to have a conversation. You can't hear nothing. You can barely see their mouths. You can't make up the words. Next thing you know, all of a sudden, CM Punk shoves him, throws a quick little punch, tries to put him in a chokehold. Eventually gets broken up pretty quickly, and that was it. From my angle, from my perspective, it looked like CM Punk sucker punched him.
I want to make this. So even I haven't seen the AEW footage yet. So I'm going off your impressions. But before this, the descriptions that we've heard of this fight, I said in our own private chat that CM Punk walked up to a 26-year-old Jack Perry. Yeah. CM Punk is what? At least 46.
46, 46, 47 maybe.
Be more mature. And he insults him. He talks to him a certain way and does not expect hostility. Now I'm hearing that this. I don't love that they showed this footage, but it also does kind of solidify my idea that I'm not on Punk's side in this fight.
Yeah, I'm trying to see some clips here, some people saying, but I don't think I've seen TK anywhere in the shot. You seen Joe there. He was quick to break it up as well. As I think Sanjay Dutt was in the area. Um, this whole clip was insane.
So I got two questions for this clip then. One, does this further a storyline? Like, what was the purpose? What's the kayfabe reason? We know the real reason. What's the kayfabe of someone showing this clip?
So kayfabe, your EVPs, the Bucks said they couldn't focus on their. They spent all this time building a company, building a pay per view, just so they couldn't focus on their actual match because they had to be bosses after the unnamed guy. They said trying to make the show all about himself.
So, so
And he
they're
said
trying
that
to.
he's like CM Punk's their best friend. Your best friend took made us have to be our bosses and couldn't focus on our match. That's kind of how they tied it in.
Okay, I mean, yeah, okay. Um, so then what I'm hearing is this is another thing I'm being a little sassy about. You just if they get ratings for this episode, you can't enjoy it because that means CM Punk once again got your ratings.
That's a great point. Yeah, I see. I think it looks like Malachi Black helped break it up. Chris Hero looks pissed. I see Jay Lethal in the thing. So I kind of see. If you see the clip, if you guys are watching, Tony Khan's kind of off screen a little bit. So Punk does get in his face. He's right there. He's probably shouting a whole lot of shit. So, but you can't see Tony Khan on screen. I don't know though if this helps Jack Perry because to
That,
me, yeah, he got sucker punched. He got put in a choke, it was like a guillotine, kind of like the Roman Reigns style chokehold, or if you watch MMA, a guillotine choke.
yeah, yeah.
Jack
So
Perry
that
didn't get out of it on his own. It was Samoa Joe pulling him out of it. So I don't know if this helps Perry at all.
that was my second thing I was going to say is that this doesn't. Yeah, makes the internet's full of people who like making fun of people for no reason. They're going to think that Jack's a punk now.
Yeah,
Like this is crazy. I don't understand the logic of this besides TK being up in his feels.
I don't either. I mean, last week obviously was a huge week for WWE and WrestleMania. All week long, they were getting all this promotion all over the place, whether it was ESPN, Good Morning America, that Ariel Hawani show, Pat McAfee, and every single time someone was on there, they were taking shots at AEW, like in some of the snarkiest ways. So I can see them, trying to be on the defensive here, take us down. You know what? Fuck it. Let's throw some shots back. I get it. I don't know if this is the right move. Now, this brings me to the next thing that happened on Dynamite tonight. Um, Osprey. So one of the things Triple H said was like, if you're afraid of the grind, I don't even want you here. He was saying all week talking about people, not being afraid to, or being afraid to work. Osprey clearly heard his message. It was pissed off. Came out there with Renee Paquette in front of the crowd. Before he even addressed his match with Danielson, he says, "I'm not afraid of grind. I'm the only one traveling from America to Britain, back and forth, back and forth. I was the one traveling during the pandemic, being stuck in Japan, doing all that type of stuff." Which, to his credit, this man was like, he was a workhorse. Let's not get
Yeah.
it twisted. Osprey does the grind, and he threw his last shot and saying, "I can't have someone, say I lack hard work, lack the grind, when the only reason you're in your spot as a B-level wrestler is because you grinded on the boss's daughter." And listen, man, I know other people were thinking it. I know other people have felt that before. I mean, I'm a fan of Triple H. What are your thoughts to Osprey say that on live TV?
I mean, I think TK is going to give him a pay raise. I think that's what's going to happen. um, I don't love it because AEW is not in a place for that right now. Like when they've got empty seats and
Yeah.
like I didn't want to believe it because I thought it's impossible. Like they have a great roster, they got great matches, their storylines. That's a different issue. But yeah, I'm a fan of taking shots when you're good, and they're not good right now.
No. And I don't know what they can change. I mean, they're I think they're waiting. You need Michael Jordan made the NBA so popular around the world. You had people like Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. They popularized it as well with their rivalry. But before that, it wasn't really televised. It was on tape delay. Then Jordan brought it to another height. Obviously, with WWE, you have guys like Rock, Stone Cold, and Zach doesn't like it, but John Cena brought it to another level.
Yeah.
We're waiting for that person, I think, for AEW that brings it to the next level. That's what they need. If the talent's going to be there, the amazing cards, but you need someone to get people to watch. You have people to stay. You have once you get something to watch, you have the people to make them stay watching. You need someone to bring them in the door.
So that's I agree with everything you said in theory,
Yeah.
but so we have so it sucks. I feel like Kenny Omega should have been that person, but and this is not his fault. It's just he had so many injuries. AEW Kenny Omega is not New Japan cleaner Kenny Omega. Um, Even though he's still damn good, he's still
He's
very
still
impressive.
still having great matches. Just like the injuries, like I think he missed what damn near a year, the first like big injury, and then this time it was life threatening issues.
And props to him because I feel like if this was any other company, I think he would have taken more time off. But he understands that AEW needs him. Um, but the reason why I don't know if I agree with that in practice is you had CM Punk, and I really detest that he brought ratings, but he did. And I feel like if you get that star who brings people in, unless they do something good, once that star is gone, then just like with Punk, they're gonna leave too.
I
Like,
think Punk was a big splash ratings wise, and it's that way for a bit. I think it started dying down when he came back for Collision. It was another long layoff, and he's
yeah,
another one who got riddled with hurt. He got hurt after he won the world title the first time. Then the All Out stuff happened. He got suspended, and then he left again. So like he missed so much time in that whole mix. It never really got going. And I don't know. I think you need somebody else. I don't think you can grab a star from somewhere else, someone who's been out of the game for a bit. I think you need like your own homegrown talent to cross over, and I don't know who it will be.
I don't think Tony Khan can do homegrown talent on that level. I hate to say, like, he had the four pillars, and now look what they are. I mean, Darby's
Okay,
great, but
I don't know who coined that term, the four pillars, but they shouldn't have done that.
they
Darby
really
is
should
great.
have.
Don't get me wrong. Sammy again is a hell of a talent, but he can't really talk in the mic, and he's constantly getting in the way of himself.
Yeah.
Jungle Boy was great. I don't know if you remember Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus when they first like got on the scene. They were super over.
Oh, I absolutely. To the point that I do not think they should have split, and I don't think that they should have
I
gone heel.
I thought it was too soon. I mean, we're not seeing too much of Luchasaurus. Jungle Boy, obviously, we've seen what happened to him, and Jungle Boy was hooping. He was doing a lot of
Yeah.
crazy stuff in that ring. Like it's not like he was putting out bad matches. So I'll
I,
give you him.
I partially blame JR because I think he got in Tony and Jack's ear with the whole Jungle Boy Jack thing and was like, you
Yeah,
got to lean away from this, even though that is partially what people liked.
and that's the thing I don't particularly like. I thought it was too soon. Like even with like for example MJF and Cody. Like we knew they had history of MJF being like Cody's like prodigy coming up in the indies, but we didn't see that develop that much on TV. It happened kind of quick. The turn he turned on Cody in like the first pay per view they had when they were got the TV deal. So I thought
Right.
like we needed more time to really flesh it out. And just like the Jungle Boy turn, I feel like people are gonna forget about that because it happened so quick. Like it was so early on.
I honestly don't remember who he turned on. So, I mean, oh, right, Hook, which,
Yeah, he turned on
yes,
Hook. I even forget how they broke up the Lucha Express.
I think Christian was it a
Christian got
match
him
with
weasels his way
Christian?
in because they did that fake where like Luchasaurus turned heel, then turned face, then turned heel
Oh,
again.
yeah.
It was too messy. It wasn't done the
Yeah.
best.
It was not good at all.
But besides that, you have Jungle Boy. I think I like him still, even though he's the scapegoat now. MJF's been world
Right.
champion already. He's kind of missing some time, and then Darby. So I mean, that's not a bad like if you want to say this is the future of your company. But I look at it now. You have a guy like Swerve. You got Osprey right there. That's who I'd want to build a company around. And say this is my future. That's going to be an insane future right there.
Oh, so
Takeshita.
you're not going homegrown. You're bringing in, which is not, it's a good tactic if you're bringing people in. It worked for NXT.
Did Swerve get enough time though? Exposure on NXT on WWE main roster to really be like a guy from there. I don't know if he
I
did.
I say yes because when he turned heel, like face Swerve was a great wrestler, but kind of meh.
Yeah.
And then he really kind of did his heel work in NXT and brought it to the main roster for a bit, but was wasted there. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. And then like with Osprey, we all know him. We know he's great. He did a
Yeah.
lot of great stuff in Japan and obviously in England where he's from. But for the American TV, for the American audience, I don't think he can still kind of consider him being an AEW guy, like homegrown for this audience. So that's why I said Osprey. I said Swerve, Takeshita. I think he'll be in that mix. I don't know who a fourth could be. There's definitely a fourth somewhere in that mix, but I don't know yet. But that's a hell of a lot of talent right there.
It is. I think if I mean, the talent is not a problem.
Yeah,
I do think it's these storylines are just.
that's the
TK
thing.
has a great gift for long term storytelling, or at least everyone at some point can write a long term fantasy storytelling. But it's the day to day, short term that's difficult.
I'd even say, yeah, I agree with that. That's what the whole problem was. The big stuff was great. The little stuff, it took some time there.
Yeah.
But AW is going on. Obviously, our boy Big Kazu's on the screen in a squash match. This man's champion already, and I love it. I love it. But let's go back to this big weekend, starting with Ring of Honor. You've played Baldur's Gate.
Of course. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Karlak look. Yes.
Yes. Theta killed it. I thought she had like one of the best entrances of the whole weekend, including Mania. The production on this was insane. I love that they did this here. She got a big win over Sheeta, and she's the most dominant champion now. Now that Roman's lost and Gunther's lost, she has the most dominant reign.
And I wish I could say I was watching it. I really wish I could. I feel like this could have been on AEW, and it'd be great. I think the women's division could have used this.
It definitely could have, and I think she should start doing both. I think TK has to finally let her free. You've now crowned a Ring of Honor TV champion with Billy Starks. That could be your champion on Honor Club. Maybe Athena can go back and forth because you have all your other champions going back and forth. Your 6-man, your tag team, your world champion. Let Athena go back and forth because she's killing that way. She was all over like IGN. I seen the actress that played was it you said Carlock?
Yeah.
She reposted it. Like she got a lot of buzz for Ring of Honor.
Oh, that's
very
cool.
hard to do.
Yeah, that's very difficult. But props to her for that. Then I mean, I would love to see her. I think they should make Collision her show if she was doing this great.
I think so. Like let her get her run, and she better not be left off the All In card. I'm putting it out there. TK, Athena needs to be on All In. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. She's earned that. Other big things of the night. Billy Starks turned heel. She faked the neck injury. It actually worked. Like people thought she was legit hurt. She faked the neck injury because she was so desperate to beat Queen Aminata, and she got the victory over her to become the first ever Ring of Honor Women's TV champion. And then Mark Briscoe, 11 years to the day that his brother had won his first world championship in Ring of Honor. Mark Briscoe knocked off Eddie Kingston and got the victory done. Very heartwarming moment.
Yeah, I'm happy for him. You could tell that was real emotional.
Yeah. So Ring of Honor was killing it. A lot of good stuff there. And then next up, we also had NXT. NXT, I'm going with Stand and Deliver and NXT last night. Roxanne got the victory again, debuted on Monday Night Raw in front of a packed house. Carmelo and Trick Williams tore the house down. Trick got the biggest win of his career, I think, over Melo. Axiom and Nathan Frazier. This team has been electric, man. If you haven't seen them, they lost at Stand and Deliver to Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin. Got the immediate rematch because they've been that good on NXT. Got the victory. And then Javon Evans, the 19-year-old sensation, hit some crazy, like, time-delayed spinning move off the top rope. He's on fire right now. He's going to be a huge star in NXT for sure. So definitely check out some NXT stuff. They've been on fire.
My biggest critique of all this though was this was Braun Breaker's farewell.
Yeah,
he gave a big emotional speech and thanked Baron Corbin. I hope Baron Corbin stays in NXT, but we'll see. Yeah. My only issue is I do not like when a person wins at Mania or any pay-per-view, and then the next night it's like, well, let's do that shit all over again, and they lose. I just pull the fucking trigger at the big show. Like, yeah, I'm not a big fan of the rematch.
I don't hate it too much, but I definitely see your point because then you feel like it kind of got robbed. I thought the big payoff was the pay-per-view, not like falling out, the fallout afterwards. I mean, you're gonna hate that we're getting Trick Williams versus Carmelo Hayes again. I thought this was the big payoff, but we're getting him in a steel cage next week.
I saw that too, and I also was like, yeah, that's Only reason I didn't mention it is because the tag team thing was worse. So I was like,
Yeah.
I guess save, double down.
I'm guessing you're gonna have Trick get. He has to win again. There's no way because he's staying in NXT. Melo's that's his farewell, his call up, and I think Trick has to go for the NXT title next. Like you have to pull that trigger while he's hot right now.
I mean, I don't watch NXT enough to call booking, but I get the feeling Carmelo wins the cage match by escape, probably. And this leads to a triple threat with him, Dragunov, and Trick. And then Trick gets to win the title while also beating Carmelo one last time.
I can see it. I can see it. They love NXT. No matter who's in charge, they love their best friends turning on each other.
They do. They absolutely. I mean, it's Shawn Michaels.
And it's always fresh every single time, which is insane.
Yeah.
Then if you guys seen GCW Bloodsport, WWE, they're looking to work with other companies, Eric. And you know, one of them is GCW with Bloodsport and TNA.
I'm glad that they are working with other companies. And this is a great match. Like you told us, it was a great match, and I'm happy Shayna did something.
Yeah.
I just want Shayna to main event WrestleMania already. God,
Yeah.
I miss NXT Shayna so bad.
She was on fire, man, and it's criminal that like she doesn't get used, like, and you know, the only time she got used last year was when Ronda was there, and that's a shame.
Right. Which I mean sucks. I think Shayna's a better wrestler than Ronda.
Yeah, I'd be all for her jumping ship if she. I know, go to AEW honestly.
Yeah, she's friends with the Bucks.
Yeah, but I did not know that actually. She has ties in Stardom. She's wrestled a lot of those people. But Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark took out Masha Slamovich. Great match. She stomped her out for the victory. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Masha's obviously a great talent. She can work that style. This whole card. We had GCW, we had TNA, AEW, and WWE superstars. Insane thing. Also, speaking of coming out of GCW, Jacob Fatu, another guy who's been around the Indies, looks like he might have signed with WWE, man. Like he's gonna join the Bloodline or do something crazy.
I'm glad it was after Mania because I feel like if he joined before, he might have changed their mind.
Cost Cody.
Yeah. I can't do it. I can't do another year of this.
I can see
maybe
it.
I'll have to.
Definitely see it.
Oh man. Bro, I'm still so excited that Cody got that fucking title. That's always gonna.
Speaking of it, it was a great moment, man. Cody absolutely killed it. WrestleMania was on fire. Did you have any favorite moments in Mania? A lot of big things popped off.
I mean, I was gonna say, of course, Cody, because of course, but R-Truth and The Miz getting the win, that's terrific. R-Truth deserved it, absolutely. What else we got here? Damian Priest, I don't know why his win. I'm very happy for him, but for some reason his win isn't great to me. Like Seth Rollins doing it at Mania, I was like, that's awesome. This one just did not hit the same for me for some reason. I don't know why.
I thought it was very cool because Drew played it up. He had a good match with Seth. Supposed to be Drew's finally getting his big moment with the World Championship in front of a crowd. And then the fact that he was so obsessed with CM Punk and stayed out there, Punk cost him. Damian came out and cashed in. I didn't know if Damian was going to cash in. I don't know when they decided to do this, but I thought it was good. You know, it made it special when the Judgment Day came out, and you see how all happy they were. That's kind of what made the moment for me. I think Seth's was obviously bigger, but this definitely was. They actually used Money in the Bank a good way because the last few times I don't remember who the last few people were that won Money in the Bank.
You know, I think you actually might have just pointed out why I didn't. I don't want to say I didn't like it because I really am happy for him. But first off, I think this is the first Money in the Bank where the Money in the Bank holder was not the star to me. I think Drew did such a good job of like his obsession with Punk cost him the title. Like I'm giving my props to Drew more than I'm giving it to Damian. And the second reason is the reason our Truth storyline was so great is because Judgment Day spent so much time with Truth, but they really did not build Damian up for me to think of him as world champion.
Yeah,
like I knew it was going to happen, but he hasn't really.
I'm happy for him, but for me, like you said, it did kind of feel like this was like a last minute decision. It seemed like they didn't really want to pull the trigger on him.
According to someone, they had for 6 months.
Yeah, it really felt like they heard all the noise of the internet saying, "Oh, Damian is dumb. Like, why is he not cashing in? What does he do with his beat? Like, he's wasting it." It was like, "All right, fine. We'll try to just stick it to the fans, pretty much. Here you go." and they cashed in. But regardless of that, he became world champion, first Puerto Rican world champion in 50 years. After I think Pedro Morales has said, so I'll
Oh
give
yeah.
him that credit. And I think also too, while I do agree with your point, I think he's not going to have the belt that long. I truly believe by the time I think the Scotland pay per view when Drew gets his hometown, which I think is the next month or two, he will not have the belt anymore. He might lose the belt before that, and we might get Drew versus Punk.
Uh, it's a shame because I want him to have a good long reign. I don't know if I want him to have a good long reign. Actually, I want him to have a good reign. But yeah, I want to see. Usually, when the dirt sheets talk, you have to wait for a second source to confirm because I mean, dirt sheet's gonna dirt sheet. But according to them, someone in the creative WWE staff said this was planned 6 months ago. It just execution could have been better, but good for him.
They'd definitely be saying a lot, man. But hey, if that's true, that's true. But since you mentioned Cody, we'll go to this week's Pop of the Week, and this one was an easy one. The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, your boy. Blood for Cody. How about some gold for Cody?
I'm not gonna lie. I still, every time I see the video or I see anything with him being champion, I still can't believe it. I'm still like, somebody's gotta pinch me because this Roman reign was so damn long and it was very good. I still can't believe that we're out of it.
It was actually kind of sad that he lost. I ain't gonna lie. Like it was such. I think me and Zach said it on the stream a few days ago. Roman's been champ the entire time we've had this podcast. That 2020, he won. We started like Mayish. He won it in like August. So like maybe
when
a
we
few
started
months.
at WrestleMania, yeah, I was gonna say because we definitely did an episode where it was Bray versus Braun and before Roman came back. But yeah, a few months out.
Yeah, we'll erase the few months. We'll rewrite some of that. But yeah, it's kind of insane. But Pop of the Week. Let me know if you guys have any other things that made you pop this week. And then Eric, this one's for you, man. You know how it goes. The flop of the week, since we're speaking of him, Drew McIntyre. Why not take the belt and walk out? He got costed by CM Punk. Another cheap shot by CM Punk, if you will. And he lost his belt.
Once again, I do not approve of the way Knock uses my term flop, but only because this picture, that's a nice picture, the fish and everything. I will approve it this week.
I had to do it. And I had another option for flop of the week as well, but this one looked better. I didn't want to put this guy's picture on there, but we had some people talking shit on Samantha Irvin. Like she got so much hate this last week saying, oh, why is she putting so much emotion into it? Why is she doing this? Why is she doing that? She's terrible. It's Earl Hebner jumped in and said he said her voice sounds like a chalkboard, which is absolutely insane.
Actually, it was his son, Brian Hebner, or is Brian yeah, I think it was his son, Brian Hebner, who said it.
He was one of the longest tenured TNA refs. He's out here saying these terrible critiques.
Now we know where he came from.
Oh man,
she had a great response. Like, what? Earl Hebner has a son who's a referee.
Yeah.
But she's great. She's fantastic.
I truly believe she's the best ring announcer I've ever heard for wrestling.
I put her up there. That's a tier list. That's gonna be a tier list.
I think she's the best ever. I think she's earned it. Like I can't imagine. Like she brings so much, and she brings originality to it as well. Noob and Co jumping in the chat. What's up? What's up? Have we seen the footage from All In? Yes, we have. We were just talking about it. What did you think, Noob and Co? I said it reminded me of Draymond Green punching Jordan Poole. If you watch any basketball, the cheap shot from CM Punk. But I also said it didn't make Jack Perry look good at it either.
Yeah, I really don't like. Also, I forgot to say this earlier. It's also kind of weird that Tony Khan had to call whatever stadium there, I was Wembley, and be like, "Hey, can we get that footage? That's security cam footage."
We slide you a few dollar bills. We get that footage, man.
For real, I'm actually watching it now, and yeah, he just comes up. Samoa Joe's just pacing. Punk is just kind of kiss this man. Like, why's he getting so damn close to this poor kid? Yeah, I ain't a fan of this Punk. I'm not. This is why I can't cheer for him in WWE.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, I think CM Punk has to respond to this. There's no way he lets this one slide.
To be fair, he started it. He was the one who talked first. Damn, that was a hard show. Yeah, that was a sucker. That was not a fair fight. You
Yeah.
can't, especially whatever. But yeah, he started with the what was it? What did he come out and say? He was like somebody interviewed him for AEW, and he was like, "It's a joke or a clown or some shit."
Yeah, he called TK a clown and said he's not a real boss and said all this stuff. So I would have been hot too if he said some shit like that. But I just don't know if this is the right route. We'll see how it plays out. I want them to really focus on getting people in attendance and like really knocking that out because you have so much talent on your roster, man. They deserve like a big spotlight.
I mean, yeah, it's. I think that, but also, I hate to say it because I don't want to agree with Punk, but if you're the boss, you can't react like this. Like you're just
Yeah.
proving the point.
Yeah, that's the thing. And then they're kind of hiding it behind the Buck storyline. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out again. I just don't know who benefits. It's kind of like even with the Osprey taking a shot at Triple H. It's cool, I guess. Say your piece. Respond, but there's not really going to be a payoff. Like you're not going to have a match with Triple H. I wouldn't imagine. I mean, who knows?
Right.
But like at this part in time for AEW, there's no payoff. There's nothing to build to. Like Drew's taking all these shots at CM Punk, and they're building towards a match. That's getting a lot of tension. So that's like going to be a money match down the line. I think AEW needs to focus on stuff like that.
Exactly. Yeah. Work on your house before you go throwing rocks at somebody else's.
Yeah. And we kind of already talked about this, but you jumped the gun on my matchup of the week. It was kind of who had the better cash in, Damian Priest or Seth Rollins, and I think it's sticking with Seth.
Yeah, sticking with Seth.
Seth was by himself. Priest had the family behind him.
You're talking about the man, the architect who showed up, dethroned the beast, and he saved us from another Roman Reigns. This is before he was cool.
Yeah.
Championship reign, face super win.
This is very true. Man, Dynamite's still going on right now. We have Mariah May having her rematch against Anna Jay. If you guys are checking it out, Eric, what has been the best thing in wrestling this past week?
Oh, I'll tell you the best thing. It's actually one of the best things of all wrestling, Doc. You know what I love more than attitude adjustment?
What's that?
2 attitude adjustments. But you know what I love more than 2 attitude adjustments?
Yeah.
3 attitude adjustments.
Oh my goodness.
We had R-Truth living his childhood dream. Knock, we don't all get to live our childhood dreams, but this man tagged with his childhood hero. They went from bitter rivals in 2011, Awesome Truth jumping Cena, attacking him, to tag team best friends, hitting the power slam. They hit a 15 knuckle shuffle. That's 15 old knuckles.
That was insane.
And then the triple, they hit the A. You can't be mad at that. I know Zach watched that and a tear went down his face because he didn't want to admit he loves it, but I know the facade. I know his game. I know how he really feels.
Yeah, one day we'll reveal that Zach is actually a secret Cena lover. One day
Absolutely.
It'll come out.
He's got all the shirts, every color, the full spectrum.
But yeah, that's been a heck of a. I see Mr. Douche jumping in here, man.
With the flops, baby.
Flop it out here. It looks like he's I think
Flop
flop
it
of the
out.
week. He says it was a lie. Hey man, it wasn't that violent, to say the least.
Yeah.
But we don't know where Zach is. He might be jumping in. We might get an appearance from the Mr. Muscle Man himself. But for now, we have an Invincible topic. I don't know if you guys have been watching Invincible. We're going to talk about that as well. Me and Zach been doing the reviews for X-Men. I don't know if you got to X-Men yet, Eric.
I haven't, but I've seen a meme that says this episode was had people crying or something.
I've been trying to dodge the spoilers, but I did see something about it being very emotional. We will have that review out for you guys tomorrow. Nubico, check us out tomorrow. Everyone else, X-Men 97 coming to you soon. But we haven't talked about this in a while. The state of gaming, man. What's going on with gaming with you? How's that been this week?
Oh man, the game that I've been talking about every time we talk about this is still growing. Helldivers 2. Not you. What do you know about Helldivers? What about the story?
So I know it's like, you get your squad, you're going to these different planets. I think it's like some bugs that I heard someone say you use the bugs as like your fuel or something, and you actually are the bad guys. Don't know if that's true.
It's
Uh,
so there's a whole lot of things going on. So essentially, yeah, you're part of the super fighting for democracy. You're the hero, but then these bugs randomly show up on planets, and they're mined for element 710, which backwards is oil. Um, and the question is how these bugs get here. And on the other side of the galaxy, you have these automatons who just fuck shit up.
that's the word I was looking for.
Um, but what was really cool is what was it? 5 days ago. Um, every planet has like a level of conquered or like what's the word I'm looking for? Liberated
Yeah.
for democracy, and it actually does add up. And like the game is so popular that you can see in real time. Like it could go from 0% to 100 in like a day or so, and the meter is not small. So 5 days ago, the automatons were completely wiped out from the game, and they were completely liberated. Uh, I want to say now they've just returned and they're taking over a new sector,
Oh my
and
goodness.
it is fun to see like the galaxy is changing and they're really going at it. I really love this game.
And then again, so Eric's the one that plays Helldivers. He's into it. I'm still like seeing a little bit of it. I did see something about someone saying like there's one person like in control and he changes things or something like that. I don't know if it's like a dev or someone in the
Oh,
game.
that's
Someone
pretty
like
cool. Didn't know that.
controls certain things. I have to
Cool.
look into that more. I don't know if you know Noob and Co. But
Yeah,
I
let me
keep
know.
hearing
Let me
great
know.
things with this game, man.
I honestly, I might buy it for my PlayStation 5 just so my brother could play it. It is. I hope it gets nominated for. It better get nominated for Game of the Year. I think that's how good it is. I don't know if it win because I see the other choices, but um, Noob and Code. No, I never played the original, but I'm impressed that they went from a top-down shooter to this. That's such a leap.
That is. This year, I don't really know what would compete with it. I can see it at least getting a nomination.
Yeah, it's weird. This year's had two phenomenal hits.
One's
This and
died
Power
off.
World.
One's died off.
Right, which is weird because they've said like, "Hey, like, let us die off for now. It's cool. We'll be back."
Yeah.
So that it could come back. But I also do not think it should be nominated. Like the same reason why I didn't think Cyberpunk should be nominated for Game of the Year. It was not a complete and like full game. It was
Yeah.
still a work in progress.
Okay. Um, Again, one of these times I do have PlayStation. And one time I'll jump on here. Numiko, that's cool. You get to play it, man. Miss All Power, how is it?
If you're talking about the original, I don't know. You have to let us know Noob and Co. And is it a strategic game? Once you get to the higher levels, it's less run and gun and more like picking your battles, like
Yeah,
knowing when to avoid certain patrols and save ammo.
man. I got to jump on this, man. Um, yeah, state of game is let us know what you guys are playing, what you guys are looking forward to. It's a good year for gaming. I'm just a little upset still with the PlayStation's production and what's coming out. Like we're lacking in so much games. I'm playing a lot of PS4 games, and I'm hearing these rumors about a PS5 Pro before these games come out. Can I get some before the new system comes out? Can I get some games, please?
I'm hearing PlayStation 6, yeah. And I'm like, I spent I'm one of those people who spent way too much for a PS5. I bought it from a scalper, and I hate that. I don't
Uh,
want to go back into this shit with PS6. I can't.
yeah, there's no way, man. Like extend the devs, like actually use like the power of the PS5 because I feel like we still haven't got that like oh this is a next gen game. I feel like we're still missing on that.
You know what's crazy? Well, remember the original Spider-Man, or was it Spider-Man? Was it Miles Morales? One of those
Right,
games
Miles
on
Morales.
PS5 was like at the time groundbreaking because it was like no loading screens. Or if there were loading screens, it was like cleverly hidden. The graphics were awesome. I just, yeah, you're right. There needs to be something more. This
Yeah,
generation has been, yeah, has been disappointing.
yeah. So and these it's the generation, all these delays, man. I don't know.
Yeah. Are you gonna buy Star Wars Outlaws knock? I need
I
to see
don't know
more.
what that is. Uh,
I if I remember, is this in the chat? Let me know. Is this the bounty hunting one? I just looked it up, and it's published by Ubisoft. That is not a good sign.
Strike one.
Yeah, that's strike 1 and 2. Oh, I think I've seen trailers for it. I think I remember being interested, but yeah, Ubisoft is a big red flag.
Yeah. When if you is it coming out soon? If it does, let me know if you like it on maybe next week's podcast or a new one or next few weeks. But I need to play. What's the game called, bro? The Star Wars. My guy Cal Kestis.
Fallen, not Fallen Order, but the sequel.
Yeah, I need to play both of those actually before. That's the ones I'm looking forward to. I'm gonna jump on those first, and then if Outlaws is good, I'll continue it. But I need to play those first, man. I'm missing out.
Honestly, the first one I stopped playing halfway because it was
Yeah,
I. If that was also Ubisoft, then that explains it. But
I hope
the
not.
enemies, there was like maybe 7 to 10 enemies in the whole game, and they just repeat. And the planets are just like so. It could have been a lot better. It should have been a lot better. It did not feel like a complete game.
Okay.
The sequel, I hear, is more fun,
Yeah.
but I was disappointed.
Yeah. But yeah, good to see everyone jumping on some games. Right now, we're still waiting for the arrival of the main man, Zach. He will be here shortly. I don't know if you want to get into some Invincible talk yet, or should we still wait for your boy?
Um, I'll buy him 5 more minutes talking about. Um, Also, I'm getting into Magic the Gathering. So anyone in the chat who wants to teach me, help me get this game, because as complicated as Yu-Gi-Oh is, I got that faster than Magic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I just played someone and they gave up because I was taking too long to do anything good. Oh, damn, Dragon's Dogma. Have you seen that one?
No, no. Let me know. What is that like?
So I haven't played it yet, but it is. You can let me know if my assessment is right or wrong. All power. It seems Dark Soul esque. You can have a party, and yeah, it seems very Dark Soul type.
Okay. I do like my Dark Souls games. One of my favorites played was Bloodborne. I haven't played all the Dark Souls games or Demon Souls, but like those have gotten popular. And I'm not playing freaking Elden Ring, who
What?
robbed God of War for Game
And
of the
they
Year.
they might get it again too for the DLC. If a DLC can win Game of the Year, it's gonna do it.
The DLC should never win Game of the Year.
Oh, this is a full. This is almost full game size. $40 for what is essentially almost a brand new game.
Oh man, that's coming out soon.
Oh, it's been out. It's already out.
Oh shit. Okay.
I've the only did nothing against Elden because I do. I was Team Elden Ring for that year,
I
but
know criminally.
but I played it only after a co-op mod was made, and Mr. Nushi1 and I played it together, so we could play it cooperatively because I can't do it solo.
Okay, that's cool. You can play with other people.
Yeah. There was a way to do it without the mod, but like we got to play the full entire game together, not just certain boss fights and areas.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna say let's do the Invincible talk because there's a very real chance that you might do this podcast alone after a certain point because I gotta go at a certain time.
All right, for sure. This is your boys. We're keeping it going for you guys. Let's get to the main event of the evening. We did the. I'll recap real quick with you guys. We had CM Punk doing his Draymond Green impression, punching a young rookie, a young lion, if you will, and instead of giving him to leave.
That's exactly what fucking happened to Jordan Poole. God damn.
Yeah. And then he had to leave. It's crazy. I'm telling you. I don't think I'm posting this picture. I don't think anyone said anything like this.
Damn.
Or someone steals my shit.
Only difference is at least Draymond stayed.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
I mean, shit. The amount of times he's getting ejected, got Steph crying, like damn.
I think he's the most ejected player I've ever watched, and I watched Rasheed Wallace.
Shit, even Melo World Peace wasn't this bad.
And a World Peace too, and he fought a fan. We had the pop of week with Cody. We had the flop of the week with Drew, and then matchup of the week. Let us know who had the better cash in between Seth Rollins and Damian
The fact
Priest.
you forgot his name means the answer is Seth Rollins. Got it for a second there.
Oh man, shout out Priest. But the main event, talking about Invincible. I'm still someone who has not seen Invincible, but is on Prime Video. Eric, season 2, second half. What's going on?
So right before we get into Invincible, I had a what's it called? There's a term for it. Pavlov conditioning. I had conditioning there when you said time for the main event. I was like, oh shit, promo school.
Yeah, we do that for so many. We did it for like 100 episodes, so it doesn't blame you.
Oh man! All right, Invincible. So funny enough, I watched 3 episodes before we started, and I am on 30 minute 36, 53 seconds of the last episode. So I've still got a little bit in the finale. So if you haven't seen the finale, I guess you don't have to worry. I'm not going to spoil the end of the finale for you. But I was already hyped because, like I said when we talked about the first half, Angstrom Levy makes his appearance, and he is the Joker to Mark's Batman. Like, he's the Venom to Spider-Man, the villain that fucks with your mind and like just all they want is to ruin the hero's life. Not even necessarily to kill him all the time, just to really fuck with him. Like, he's the Reverse Flash, talking about it was me, Barry.
Oh
and
shit!
All, like, he is fucking amazing. Shout out to his voice actor, because when I start doing lines or whenever I want to practice my voice acting, I'll read certain lines that I really liked, and I'm looking up his name as I'm talking about him. Sterling K. Brown. Episode 1 of this season, he gives that.
Amazing.
Oh, he's terrific. I'm so glad they cast him. He gives that line reading the first episode where he's like, "I won't rest until I've killed," and then title screen. And I love that line read so damn much. He fucking kills it.
Oh shit. Okay.
But second half, we get to see Angstrom actually come back. We get to see the new Guardians in their toughest fight yet. We get to see Mark and Amber's relationship go through, realistically what would happen in a superhero relationship of this kind. Danger, having to leave as much as Mark does. It's crazy to say that they handled the idea of a realistic relationship, I think, better than Spider-Man ever has in the comics.
Really?
I think I love Mary Jane as a character because she's so supportive.
Yeah.
But not everyone's a Mary Jane. Not everyone can handle that life. And there's some MJs out there, but that's a rare breed. So, so it was cool to see that. And what else do we have? Of course, we got to see Omni-Man's return, see what he's been up to. And Mr. Allpower.
I know that at least.
Since you didn't know that.
I know that at least. Fuck Omni-Man.
Okay. Doesn't think they should have split the season. We in our tier list, I talked about how Amazon was my favorite streaming service. But also, I think they are the reason why shows started doing the once a week releases and the splitting, because they got tired of people being all in on the show for like a month and then going away.
Yeah.
This way they can drag it out for however fucking long it's been, but it's torture. It's absolute torture when they do that. So I agree. I don't think they should have split it.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah.
Is now the perfect time to jump in if I haven't seen it? Now that it's like kind of caught up on the second season?
Yeah, now is the absolutely perfect time because you have so much to binge. You have this obviously season 1 and 2, but you also have the interlude Adam Eve story. And honestly, I don't like when I watch anime, I don't like reading mangas because I'm the kind of person that once I know something's going to happen.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mr. Allpower was talking about Mercedes. You want to touch on that real quick?
Yeah, I'll jump on that. Mr. Allpower, someone attacked Mercedes. I did not see this actually. Um, I would imagine. Actually, I don't know who it'd be unless it's Julia. She's maybe Willow. Maybe Willow's turning heel. That should be interesting.
That's crazy that you said Julia. My first thought went to now WWE signee Julia.
Oh, that's a good point too. I didn't even talk about that. Yeah, so she was in the crowd for WrestleMania and NXT. Did the whole Triple H finger point, and Russ Yagawa, the former Stardom president, he was there, too. So TK, his ops were connected.
The guy who got her there, he has to have a job with WWE now, or at least got a big paycheck or something.
Yeah, I mean he's starting another promotion too, since he's no longer the president of Stardom. He's starting a new promotion, and taking all the wrestlers from there and jumping ship. So maybe they'll have a working relationship with WWE.
Maybe. Um. Oh yeah. So I was saying that I don't like reading manga on animes I'm watching because once I know what's going to happen, I lose interest. Like I've stopped watching animes because I'm like, okay, I read the manga, I don't care anymore. Invincible, 1000%. I've read start to finish, and I still get hyped to see everything in the show. Uh, it doesn't necessarily follow everything point for point. It follows a lot of it, maybe like 90% of it. But I do recommend anyone out there who's like tired of waiting. I think reading the comic is not a bad call. I think you'll really enjoy it. And there's so many. The weird thing about like Invincible as a world is that it's almost like AEW, where there's like a million stories happening at the exact same time. There's no like, I can't even. Reason I say like Angstrom is like the Venom of this series is because it's hard to say who's the big bad. There's so many big bads that all just attack at once. You got the Martian parasites. You got Angstrom. You've got the Viltrumites. It's not just one big arc. It's every arc tired of waiting their turn and just jumping in line.
So this is like Robert Kirkman's in his bag. So he really is doing like a good job.
He is. He's not just doing his job. I think he's improving because season 1, Amber was I think a truly toxic character, which is bad and toxic. Season 2, they actually fixed that, and I think she becomes a better character, even when this is arguably a rough point for her. And we've got someone here. We've got someone joining us who I don't want to say he's invincible because that's a downgrade. I don't want to say he's a superhero because this man's an ultra hero. I don't want to say he's Hercules because Hercules cries when he sees this man. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the main man, the muscle man. It's Zach.
What an intro. What an intro. You can do better next time, Eric, but I still appreciate the intro.
You're right.
What's up, man?
Man of your
main man
stature
is here.
better.
How you doing?
We're good. We're good.
Good.
Just having some Invincible talk. I obviously haven't seen it. So, Zach, if you want to add to anything Eric's been saying.
Okay, so Eric, what did you think? Did you finish it, or are you still going on it?
I'm 20 minutes left in the last episode, so I haven't seen the end of it, but I just got to the end of the Angstrom Levy stuff in that episode.
Okay. I like everything in it. I do. There's this thing with Robert Kirkman that Eric and I talked about in the chat where he borrows everything. So when I didn't know that Invincible crossed over with Batman and Spider-Man and on
I didn't know that
all that good stuff. So there's a line in there about they do the multiverse stuff. Okay, more stuff that's already been done in comics, which is the point I'm getting to. He makes a joke about Batman, and he's like, "Wait a minute. So you're a man that dresses as a bat. Don't you think that name's a little lazy?" And I'm like, Robert Kirkman, I don't want to call you lazy, but how many episode after episode after episode are you stealing from DC and Marvel characters? Like literally, you're just changing the colors and one or two things about them. You got to the part where he totally ripped off Starro. Yeah, just stuff like that. So stuff like that does, but you explaining to me that it's more of like a play thing than it does. It's just it's a lot. I still don't think this season was as good as the critics are giving it, but we can get into that after you finish.
Fun thing or interesting thing. I guess this shows that Disney does not like letting out their toys, because in the comics, it actually is Spider-Man. It's not some ripoff of like they did in the show.
Yeah.
And the joke about like you're a bat who dresses like you're a man who dresses like a bat, that was originally the joke on Spider-Man. So I guess they couldn't do it in the show because Disney's like,
I think.
Go ahead. No, go
I
ahead.
think there's a video circulating where someone reanimated and put Spider-Man into that clip where that other guy is. I think I've been seeing that actually around.
That is cool. That's actually clever. I would have given them all the points in the world if they had gotten, and they absolutely 1000% could have, because this man voiced Spider-Man in the DC Young Justice show or Spider-Man ripoff. If they got an actual Spider-Man voice actor instead of just, no offense to who they got, but some guy.
Yeah, they used him quite a bit in there.
Yeah. But I like this season more than season 1. What are the critics saying? Like, what score is it? Are they giving it a perfect game, perfect score?
It's 9s, 9.5s, and I think I saw 110, but a lot of 9s. I'll say at least I saw 9-ish 9s, some 9.5s, and then 110.
I'll give it an 8. It takes a big hit for me because of the season split. I don't like that shows are doing that nowadays.
Yeah. Also, I didn't like I like that the animation bit was in the comics, that you pointed that out to me. But at the same time, this animation isn't complicated from a viewer's perspective. It may be actually making this complicated, but there's a lot of the body moves once, and then the mouth just moves, and the body stays the same, and the body stays the same, and then the mouth keeps moving, and then the body moves. So it's not like, like a Disney movie where people are moving, like, or animation. So that kind of threw me off too. Like, why are you throwing in commentary about this? In the comic that you pointed that out, that makes sense. But in the television show, that kind of threw me off about the season 2, when it's like, why are you doing all this commentary? I like that, but almost everything is just commentary on stuff that it is a fan of. Rick and Morty is basically all that now. It's not even like its own stuff anymore. The Tick, The Boys, Watchmen. I mean, this kind of thing has been done over and over again. I do enjoy this because done well, it is awesome. Like this, I binged every episode right in a row because I liked it. But I'm just saying, like, that kind of made the season go down a little bit. And the Omni-Man stuff with the kid, so annoying. Just watching his mom just be like, "Well, I'll raise." Like, no, I don't know.
So the animation thing, I get your point, because I'm going into it. Every animated show, I'm like, it's gonna take a fucking year and a half or something, because animation does take a lot of time, and that's even at the rate it goes, that's still them being kind of cheap and like outsourcing to other countries to do the work for them. The only reason this one didn't tick me off is because it was basically word for word, shot for shot of the comic. I was like, okay, the only thing that they changed is the word comic to show, obviously. Yeah. I was like, okay, you get away with this being an homage, I guess. Good for you. Yeah. The mom, I will say, I think the show makes her better. In the comic, makes her more realistic. Like, she does object to it more than, like, in the show, she's kind of like, well, guess I'm a mom again. I got another baby. Yeah. I'm cool with this. In the comic, she does put more resistance, but she's a lot darker in the comics after Omni-Man leaves. Is a bit more of a darker.
Okay.
So I think they kind of tried to adjust it there.
Okay. I'll give this a 7.5-ish. So maybe an 8, just because you tempered some of my issues with the show, but I think the split hurt, and then I think that what's his name? Big Head.
Angstrom Levy.
Yeah, I think they could have done more with Angstrom. If they are, maybe that's good. I just think that one multiverse episode was almost made just for the nods, and then Angstrom, so we'll see.
I don't know how I can answer that without.
You don't have to. That's fine. Don't give me spoilers.
Good,
I love that you help me out in the chat to make this show better, because I really do like this show. I just do have issues with people thinking they're smarter than the source material that they're I'll say fucking stealing from.
I not touching anything on Levy. I will say that they do go more into the multiverse deal.
Okay.
Because so I mean, pretty much like them going into every multiverse. It's interesting that you say that, like, because every critique that you have with the show, all that stuff does happen in the comics. So it's fair to say that maybe they should have tweaked it then. Maybe they shouldn't be doing shot for shot everything that happens in the comics to the show. Maybe the source material is damaged.
Because you say The Boys is a better TV show than it is a comic.
Yes, I hate The Boys comic, and I will never read it again. I'll never go back to it. It's shock appeal for the sake of shock appeal. Anyone who disagrees you need to be put on a list. But yeah, I was just telling Knock that I don't like, whenever I watch an anime, I don't like reading the source material, because once I do and I know everything, I don't care to wait for the show to come out. Yeah. But I honestly think Invincible is fun enough that I do recommend reading the comics, and you won't, like, you'll see everything that happens. Like, it is a guide to what the show is going to do. But I do not care about that. Like, I will watch the show faithfully and be like, oh, this is fun to see again.
Okay. Well, it makes me want to keep invested. So, unlike some shows that take too long and I'm out, like Stranger Things,
Yeah, I kind of gave up on that, even though I hear there's a great rock and roll character who I'm never going to see.
Well, I won't say great, but he's decent. He's just like so in your face, and it's just like, calm the fuck down. Like, you're all gonna die.
Oh, Knock, you might like this. There is a character that will appear, and he is Thanos level bad.
Really?
He's the ultimate Viltrum.
They had another one too in here. They had someone who had the Thanos face and the Galactus armor. So it's like all these like little villains, and then third or fourth episode, they had two people that looked like Avalanche from the X-Men, and Knock, help me out, the blonde guy with the red suit who shoots the fire.
Red suit shoots fire.
X-Men original. No, he's in the fucking. He was in the original X-Men. He was in the original title scene, running towards the X-Men before the X-Men logo hits.
Oh fuck! I'm really
Firefly. Let us know in the chat who it is. He's partners with Avalanche and a lot of X-Men stuff, but he had those characters in there. So yeah, I mean he's
he definitely does steal. I think it was one of those things, like, it started out as like a commentary, but eventually it's like, at what point does a commentary just become kind of stealing?
Right. Because like I said in the chat, he does borrow a lot from George Romero from Night of Living Dead and all that for Walking Dead. Mainly the social commentary about how evil humans are, and the social commentary. If you look at each Romero movie, it is a separate social commentary and stuff. And that was another thing Kirkman borrowed. So,
Zach, is it Pyro?
Pyro, thank you. Yes.
Man, I couldn't get that.
Watch that,
man. Appreciate you jumping in here. I hate my favorite shows getting lazy with the animation. I know it's not easy to do, but it takes me out of the immersion.
I will say the animation quality is kind of lower than I would hope an Amazon Prime show to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like even this picture that we have up, I can look at it and be like, man, like, I've never liked Black Samson's design, and there's just some things that don't look great. But
yeah, can I ask you guys a question? Did they show the footage yet?
Yes, we talked about it.
Okay, so we'll loop you in real quick what I thought, and then I want you to see it whenever you get to it.
Okay.
There was an incident a few years ago with Golden State Warriors Draymond Green, where he leaked footage from practice where he sucker punched a rookie teammate, and now that teammate is not on the team. This kind of looked identical. It was kind of some grainy footage. You couldn't really see what they were saying. Punk approaches Perry as soon as he comes from the curtain, says a few words back and forth, and then it looks like he sucker punched him. He puts him in a guillotine. I don't know who this helps, because Punk did kind of get to him. It was a cheap shot, and Samoa Joe pulled Perry out. So Perry didn't really get out of it himself. So he kind of doesn't look that strong. Kind of looks a little weak. I don't know who this helps and what this does. But they tied it into the FTR storyline because the Bucks are pretty much talking shit. They had built up All In AEW by themselves, and on the biggest night of their careers, instead of going out as wrestlers, they had to be bosses because someone wanted to make the show about themselves. That was kind of the gist of it.
This there's no sound to this, right?
No.
This is whatever we needed it to be then.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
And I was telling Knock, like, I'm sure TK paid someone to do it, but I love the idea more that TK called Wembley. It was like, can I get that footage on that day at this time?
TK is off screen a bit, like kind of where Punk gets pulled away. That's where I think TK is, and he starts yelling at him. So far, I don't think it's going over that well on the internet.
I don't think they should have done. That's what they should have done this on the internet. I think you just ruined everything that Edge said the other week.
Yeah, you can see after they play this and cut back to the commentary, Tony Schiavone kind of like looked out of it. He didn't really look like he approved. So there's definitely some stuff going on there. And I was telling Eric too, like right after that segment, Ospreay comes out, says he's going to talk about Danielson, but before he gets to Danielson, he needs to talk about Triple H. Says his whole comment about him want to get into a spot because he grinded on the boss's daughter, but he's been grinding his whole life, doing all type of stuff. You know, how dare you take a shot at me?
Did he actually say Triple H's name, or he?
No. But he said he it was heavily hinted.
Okay, yeah. I still stand by. Fix your house before you go throwing rocks.
I'll have to let this sink in. I'll have to actually watch Dynamite tonight to see how it. Doesn't look like footage I'd show, especially with no sound. Because again, you could have just added cartoon voices. Hey, Punk, sorry, I wasn't talking about you. Shut up, kid.
Honestly, that's something the Bucks could have done, and they usually would do some shit like that. That would have been hilarious.
I'll pass on this. I don't even know if I would have tuned into Rampage for that.
Also, I feel like the whole point of AEW was, we're alternative and everybody can enjoy wrestling and be fun and free. And it's just too petty and competitive. And this is not the AEW that I wanted, that I signed up for. Brandy was right. This company has changed.
Is it time to jump ship to TNA?
I mean, they're doing okay.
They are. Their ratings went up again. A little.
Hey, see? That's what I'm talking about. Okay. You think Scott DeMoore couldn't get those ratings to go up this high? Every loss is a chance to win.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man. Nah, I just want you to know, when Mustafa Ali gets tired of TNA, just like everybody else does, we're gonna force his ass to stay there, keep that contract, just like everybody else we're doing it with. Because whether he likes it or not, he's gonna make TNA stay okay.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind if he jumped ship too. He needs a big spotlight.
The spotlight is okay right now. Mr. All Power, I'm sorry. I've seen you mention this 3 times in the comments. And I forgot. I want to address something. I feel like if someone says, "Hey Zach, have you seen this?" It's like, oh, it's because it's quality. It's good. If you say, "Have I seen it?" If I got to go in private browsing for this, why am I that guy now?
Oh my God, Eric! They're gonna hit you up in the chat to buy a beer and porn mags.
I haven't seen The Big Kiss yet.
Miss All Power, I don't know if you noticed, but we're just doing a podcast here,
And yeah, we have an OnlyFans, but that's just a side hustle.
But don't worry, Mr. All Power. I completely blame Eric. This is all him right here.
Once you turn the parental controls off.
But Zach,
yes,
Hollywood Zach, if you will, you've been around the block. You ran into somebody?
Cited. I'll get into why I didn't run into them. So we're going to play a little game here. Who did Zach see in LA today? First clue, she is an artist from the 90s.
Yeah, you go first, buddy.
I got 4 clues, so just let me know when you're ready for the next one. If you got a guess,
I was going to say Britney Spears, but I was like, she's 2000s. Fuck, who's 90s?
No, 98, 99.
Oh, okay. Fine, there's my answer, Britney Spears.
Britney Spears. You get more answers. You can just keep guessing.
Okay.
Not Janet Jackson. I that one I would lose control on, or one of the Spice Girls.
How big we talking? Like.
Well, let's keep going in here. She may ask about your friends.
Oh, I don't want to say Jennifer Aniston. Who's the? I don't know. Phoebe. I forgot her name.
No.
I don't know her real name.
Yeah.
No one from the show of Friends, right? Not Courtney Cox.
No one.
Okay.
Because we're on a break.
We got to be singing here. Queen Latifah.
Oh no, that's a good one now. All right, let's get into the third one here. She's part of a 90s girl group. There's one more clue. No Spice Girls.
You said one more clue after this one.
Anybody from TLC?
Knock. Let's see if you can get it with number 4. You got the group. I didn't ask for a picture because it would have been rude to go chasing her. Knock name the group.
Sid Waterfalls. Chili.
Knock.
If you saw Chili, damn, she don't age, bro.
No, that's why I do like triple take.
That's
just hanging out, smiling, laughing. That like turned my really good day into A-OK. I was TNA after that.
Hey, I just want to make it clear. My celebrity list extends to Brendan Lee Mulligan, who's a D&D nerd. I don't know cool celebrities. Matt Mercer. Hey,
Eric, she's more than cool. She's chilly.
Yeah. My favorite groups of all time. Right there.
That's dope, man.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's coming more off screen.
On the Sunset Strip. It was your guy's birthday like 2 days ago. Keith Lee. Or not Keith Lee, Eric. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking here.
My guy.
I mean, They Live Community.
Oh, Keith David?
Keith David.
Yes.
Oh, I was you said Keith Lee. I was thinking like, who's a big black guy in wrestling? I didn't think of Keith David. I'm ashamed I didn't know that. My God, he's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't. I really hope he appears in the Community movie.
Yeah, I don't know if he is for sure. I think that's going to start up soon, actually. So we'll keep some eyes open, and maybe our guy Knock can be a part of that.
Hey, that'd be dope, man.
Yeah.
He absolutely should be. You only get one per episode.
Mr. All Power taxing you today.
Oh man,
that's been our show. Zach, we briefly talked about some Mania stuff, some Ring of Honor stuff, and of course, them dropping the footage.
That was easily footage of like if someone's trying to bust you shoplifting, be like, well, I mean, you can't really say you busted me.
Yeah, we'll see how it pays off. AEW Dynasty, I think, is next week, so we'll see what happens, man. It should be a good card, but we got to fill the seats, man. What can AEW do to fill the seats? We need their Jordan, their star player, their Derek Jeter.
God, like
their Scottie Pippen, the greatest bull of all time.
Hey, Scotty's in the news for some other stuff nowadays, man. I hate to see it.
Oh, what? Okay, we're gonna talk about this off screen, but you can't. If I bring up a joke, I don't need you bringing reality into this dark. into this. I don't need you breaking my worldview.
Yeah, we'll discuss. Oh man! Shout out to everybody jumping in for the West Coast POPcast. It was a big week for us, man. We had a lot of views with our live stream last week. Got some more videos coming for you. Eric, got any last words?
If you haven't already, hit that bell icon, subscribe, check out the X-Men review when these guys do it, because it is one of the best things on this channel. You know what would make it better? If you guys would just talk about Gambit. You ain't even gotta be in the episode. I'm just saying, take 5 minutes. Just take 5. Oh my fucking god! I'm sorry. No, that would. Oh. Anyway, end of the show. Thank y'all for watching. That threw me off my groove.
Did you break one of me? Don't need one. I'm good.
Oh
man. Well, that being said, shout out to everybody in the chat. Appreciate you guys coming through. We'll see you guys next week, man. Peace out.